Okie dokie, and welcome back. In this episode, I was originally going to just talk about loops as they pertain to computer programming, but I just got done filling out a profile for Full Stack Academy. That's who I'm doing my cybersecurity bootcamp with, and it got me thinking. So to start off this video, well, I guess let's go ahead and cover what we're going to try to do in this video. So we have another portal, and we have the opportunity to make a very basic starter farm for experience and gold. Now, it's not the best farm. There's definitely a more detailed one. Waddles does one, I know. There's a couple others on YouTube I've seen where you actually go above the bedrock in the ceiling of the nether and make a much more sophisticated gold farm. However, I've been able to grind with this one and, do just fine. So we're going to do that. And to do that, we need, well, let's do like half a stack of these. Should be enough because we're going to need walls and we're going to need ladders. So let's do that. Anyways, back to the, oh, and 6. There we go. So career success. Now there's a lot of things that go into getting a technical career, and it's often hard to kind of really get into a career to begin with. But I've noticed, like at the first company I worked for, we did a couple of personality tests. I believe it's the Myers-Briggs personality test. But that's just something natural that companies will do to kind of just figure out a little more about you and what works, what your work ethic is, stuff like that. However, I just wanted to say that, I mean, at least in my experience, the best things to do is just take any job that you get seriously. I mean, even if it's like, say, I worked for Subway for 5 years when I was in college, and just to make some extra money while I was going to school, and I took it seriously, as serious as I could. Not overly serious, but you still need to be assertive. Like, don't just take over all the work so you're doing everyone else's job. I mean, there's definitely like a balance, but definitely still take pride in your work. I mean, do a good job, be willing to learn, be humble. That's a big one, because with every job I've had, there's a bunch of stuff that I just don't know, and that's okay. I mean, you're not expected to know everything, and that's especially true with tech careers. All right, now while I talk, we're going to go back into the nether. I have a few pickaxes, and I definitely want to get an enchanting setup very soon. I'm looking around. The sugarcane's taking a while to grow, and that's okay. But for now, we can get a very basic experience farm and gold farm. So, and again, gold's not super useful. You can use it in powered rails, I believe. Yeah. Either way, for a lot of the automatic farms that we're going to be building, we're going to want powered rails, which you need gold and iron and stuff like that. And gold is also useful for things like clocks and, armor to keep you safe from angry piglins. And so it is still useful, but I mean, I wouldn't say it's as useful as something like, say, diamonds or even iron. So, anyways, this is really more for XP because, as you notice, we're level 32, which means we can almost enchant two things once we get an enchanting table set up. Oh, and there's even still some experience left from last time I was here. Anyways, so this farm is going to be farming these guys, Zombie Piglins. Now, they're very dumb, but they're very aggressive, and if you hit one, all of the piglins in the area will try to come and attack you. Now, that's not to say that these guys will get mad. These are the normal piglins. They'll get mad at you if you're not wearing gold, but they actually get freaked out by the zombies, as you can kind of see that one ran away. So, yeah, and also these piglins, the regular ones, get upset at you if you mine, if you mine gold blocks like this. Which, after we get this farm going, we're not going to need to mine gold blocks. We'll get plenty of what's known as gold nuggets, which we can turn into ingots, and then from ingots we can craft a lot of our stuff. So, let's see. Anyways, back to career success. So, most likely you are going to be, and actually while I do this, I'm going to be building this farm, kind of explaining it. The basic idea is to just build a safe place where you can attack the zombie piglins. Also be safe from gas. I'm a little worried about that opening there. We don't have a bow yet. Still neglected that. But anyways, I'm going to build this while we talk about career success. So, and basically what I'm doing here, like I said, I'm making a safe space, so I'm going to clear out some room, and we're going to build the basic setup of the farm, which is just a wall. And that's why I crafted these walls. And in my Java game, I have it about 6 by 6. Let's see. How far out do I want it? I kind of want it centralized. I mean, either way, we're going to have to remember where we're at. And let's see. Let's move this down here because we're going to use the netherrack. All right. Well, let's just start by making a basic 6x6, spot. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And ow. What was that? Oh, skeletons. Yep. Well, let's take care of them. They're going to be annoying. And actually, skeletons are good because you get arrows, and we're going to need a skeleton farm eventually to get a bunch of arrows as we'll go through those. And already I can hear the ghast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so now we have this, and what you also want is a way to get out of your little farm. And yeah. And so the cool thing about zombie piglins and how this farm really works is, yeah, you can jump in and out. And actually, I'm also going to clean this up a little bit. I don't want all this lava, like, right next to, let's see. No. Fail. Epic fail. Alright. You gotta be careful with lava down here because you can easily die. But we can clog that up and that lava will go away. And you just gotta be careful. And you can also, if you have these coming down, you can either clog it up there or you can build a little wall around it. Honestly, I do like the light, but yeah, it's a little dangerous. So we're just gonna get rid of that. Anyways, back to career success. So, like I said, every job you have, doesn't matter if it's food service, like fast food, or just basic construction, or a high school job, a college job, whatever it is, take it seriously. Try to do a good job. Don't worry about becoming. Oh, and this is going to be dangerous. You can see a gas there. Yep, and they're going to shoot. The gas is going to shoot things. All right, so let's. Oh, and there's 2 of them. All right, so we're probably going to need a bow, and that's unfortunate. Let's get this guy, because if we get the magma creams, we can craft more potions. But honestly, that is unfortunate. That's not what I wanted for this farm. Let's even maybe... And gas can spawn in a space like that. I think it's like a 3x3x3 area, which we have down there. And we actually have 2 gas and an enderman, and it's very dangerous. So let's maybe go back in here. You know what? We're going to just need a bow because the ghasts aren't actually all that strong. And we have a couple of arrows. And I know... Oh, they despawned. Alright, cool. Oh, and this is what happens. When the ghast shoots its projectile, it blows up a space like this. Okay. Anyways, back to the career stuff. So, yeah, take everything seriously. Be willing to learn. You're never really done learning. And that's something that I've learned. Getting an actual bachelor's degree in computer science, I still am learning all the time. Also, real quick, about 2 away, I'm going to build a little, let's see, 1, 2, a kind of raised platform so I can run and jump, maybe, and be in there. So, this is important because you want to be able to access your little safety spot after you anger these zombie piglins. Alright, and we're out of netherrack, and so that's okay. And also, I'm going to go ahead and destroy these tools, because eventually, very soon, we are going to be making an enchanting table, and that's going to allow us to make much better tools. It's going to make our lives a whole lot easier. And yeah, also, we're kind of fortunate. We ended up with 2 librarian villagers at our village, and their job block is the lectern. And they're very useful because you can get books of mending, which is one of the first enchantments you're going to want to be able to put on your tools, because what mending does is it allows you to use experience that normally would gain you levels to repair your tools and your sword and even your armors, whatever you put mending on. And yeah, and that's going to save you a lot of time and effort digging for or mining for diamonds, because diamonds are very hard to find. I mean, they're not as rare as emeralds, but as far as the useful rarity matrix, diamonds are definitely the most time-consuming to find, I would say. And it's kind of fun. Like I said, it's all meditation. I mean, this game, mining for diamonds, it's fun to do if you got some time to kill, or if you just need a break from your programming or from your school studies or whatever. But yeah, it's much more efficient if we go ahead and just slap mending on all our tools. And yeah, so like I said, I don't care about these iron pickaxes. And another thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to be building a lot of different platforms for these zombie piglin to spawn on. Now let's see, I got a decent amount of netherrack built up. We're going to have a lot of this stuff, so it's okay to just kind of fill this all in. And as you can see, we've got a magma cube. Let's get it. Get the magma cream. Okay. So yeah, and you're going to have issues with all sorts of these things spawning. They're going to take up your spawn count for hostile mobs. And ideally, this farm that we're making is going to have a lot of these zombie piglins spawn. And we're actually getting really close to being able to kick it off. I mean, that's basically it. Like, I mean, this is all you really need is a walled off section to be safe from the zombie piglins. I'm a little hesitant to start it off because once you aggro or aggravate the zombie piglins, all of the zombie piglins in the area will come and attack you. They'll be upset with you. They'll know what's going on. So, yeah, and another thing you want to have, so let's see, we have our actual base entrance here, and what I'm going to do is, let's see, doesn't really matter a whole lot. Let's say just here. We're going to build out a tunnel because we want to be able to access our safe area another way. We want an escape hatch, basically. And so that's pretty good. And let's see where it connects up with our little walled off area. Let's go ahead and make this a little easier too, because we are going to need all this netherrack. We're going to be doing a lot of work on this. Oh, and skeletons. You know what? Let's get them. I'm just going to shoot. There we go. Okay. Annoying skeleton. Like I said, we're going to be making a regular generic mob farm in the overworld very shortly too, to get a lot of skeletons, or well, a lot of arrows. We have 4. We have a broken bow, pretty much. That's pretty useless, but anyways, back to this. So, excuse me, Strider. So we have a tunnel. Let's see. The tunnel is at Y98, and so what we can do is just go back into our little safe area, and you gotta run and jump over the wall, and let's harvest out. Yeah, we'll make the tunnel in the back area. So we gotta go down to Y98, and we want our ladders to get up and down. We don't need an axe right now, and actually I shouldn't have. There we go. So what you can do, whoops, I was trying to shift squat, which means that you can not fall off like I did, but that's okay. So 97, oh, yep, already I'm messing it up. So we need that there, 97. Alright, now we can mine out a little bit of this netherrack and try, hopefully nope. Now, you gotta be careful, like I said, because just mining that gold will upset normal piglins, and they will start attacking you. Alright, and we haven't even started about loops, I just realized. But anyways, yeah, a big part of getting a job in the technical field is you're going to need to do personality tests, a lot of them, and they'll determine what kind of worker you are, you know, valuable information. Ah, see, and that's why you want an escape hatch, because we have a ghast. Actually, let's see, this will probably break right away. We don't need walls anymore. We have 4 arrows, so I'm going to try. See, 2 hits, not that strong. It did blow up some netherrack. Yeah, that's unfortunate. You know, but that's just something you're going to have to deal with. We are going to build structures to make this better, to avoid that. Alright, so yeah, we're about halfway through the video. Oh, and you can get gunpowder, gas tears, and experience from ghasts. Anyways, so what I want to do is I want to kind of build this out more so we have a nice area for this farm. And yeah, this is going to take some time. So, alright, now let's get into loops. So we talked in a previous episode about control flow with if else, and elif and else statements. And like I said, that varies from programming language to programming language. So definitely whatever language you're learning, research what is appropriate for that language. So, and the ones we went over are for Python, and we are going to continue talking about Python for loops as well. Now, loops are another type of control flow structure in programming. They help you do several operations that you would want done repeatedly. Now, ultimately, like one of the biggest goals in programming is to do what's called as file input output, or reading a file, an input file, and being able to create an output file. And to do this, you're most definitely going to need loops. So files are broken down into lines, and you can read line by line and do something like save the words into a string, into a list. And also I realize we need to go into kind of a data structures episode too. So basically lists are a group of items in Python. So it's about the equivalent of an array in other languages. And you also have things like array lists and stuff like that, and I can easily digress into all that. So anyways, loops. Now Python makes it really easy to do the basic for loop. And when dealing with loops, you have two main kinds. There's even a third spin-off kind that I don't think I've ever actually used, to be honest, in all my programming, so won't worry too much about that. But the basic loops are the for loop, the FOR, the while loop, WHILE, and then that spin-off one is a do while. Now a for loop is good for when you know the endpoint of what you're trying to accomplish. Like say, the most common one that people learn is for char in word do something. Like you can either be looking for vowels, or you can be capitalizing every letter or char or character, or you could be making it lowercase. There's another guest. We're going to keep our distance. Well, let's see. I think we've actually got a decent amount of work done on this. We can maybe demonstrate how to use this here. Oh, and it despawned. Alright, and actually, yeah, we have our escape hatch that safely gets us to our escape tunnel back to the overworld. So let's go ahead and anger the zombie piglins. Whoops. Okay, now they're all upset at us, and they're going to swarm over here, but they're going to not be able to reach you. Now their attack distance, or yeah, their reach is less than yours, so you can safely stand behind these walls and just whack away at the zombie piglins. Now, I'm not getting a whole lot of stuff, and so eventually one of the enchantments I'm going to put on my weapon is a looting enchantment, which actually yields a lot more stuff. Now you might notice that, let's see, that one looks like he might be, nope, they're not upset. They are unaware of the atrocities that I just did against them. However, we can simply upset them again, and all of the zombie piglins in the area will come and attack us. Now, you notice we are already out, and actually let's escape. Well, that's unfortunate. Oh, cool. So they're actually mad at that skeleton. Oh yeah. They're gonna attack that skeleton for us. I hear a ghast. Anyway, this is all you really need for your basic experience farm and gold farm. Now you'll notice we got 9 gold nuggets so far. Zombie piglin drop gold nuggets, rotten flesh, gold swords that are usually have very low durability. They're basically almost broken, and sometimes they'll even drop entire gold ingots. Now, from gold nuggets you can craft a gold ingot. From gold ingots you can craft blocks of gold. And another thing that blocks of gold, iron, diamond, and even netherite are useful for is something called a beacon. And we'll get into that much later, because in order to get a beacon going, you need to defeat Minecraft's second boss, known as a wither. And we'll also need some supplies from down here. You need wither skeleton skulls, which are dropped from wither skeletons, and yeah. So anyways, back to loops. We still got about like 10 minutes. That's good. And I'll just keep working on this. As you notice, they're not all aggroed, so they're not going to attack us until we lash out at one. But we got some good experience. Got a couple of golden swords, which actually are... And we even got an enchanted golden sword. That's nice. So, yeah. This farm is really useful. It takes some time. I mean, you have to grind away at it. But, yeah, it's definitely useful, and it's going to come in handy for when we set up our enchanting setup. Alright, which is going to be really soon, because, I mean, honestly, I'm not really liking using these ghetto tools that are unenchanted for all this work that we're going to be doing. So, basically, I just want to make a nice little opening. You need a spot that's 2 blocks high for the zombie piglin to spawn. Of course, a lot of other mobs will spawn in that spot, but, yeah. Anyways, we're clearing out quite a decent area. And, yeah. Okay, back to loops. So you have the for loop, the while loop, and the do while loop. And essentially a do while is only useful for forcing the code to execute once, and then it turns into just a normal while loop. I mean, so that's not... Alright, let's get some more... Oh! Ah! Ah! Okay, that's one of the dangers of this farm. There we go. Now we're safe. We're behind our wall, we can whack away. Alright, so a for loop in Python is really simple to set up. I'll include an example in the description. I have some examples up on my website, so definitely be checking that out. But yeah, so a for loop, the easiest example is for character in a word. So you take a string variable, and that's going to be your target data structure or variable that you're iterating through each of the characters. And the way that you set up a for loop is literally like I've been saying. The syntax is the word for, and then whatever variable you want to assign to each of the variables that you're going to be looping through. So I'll just use char as an example, short for character, and then in word. Now word is going to be a string variable. Oh, annoying. Let's see. Let's run away a little bit. Where'd that skeleton come from? Alright. Yeah, we're not too worried about our armor and stuff. So, anyways, so for char in word, and then a colon, and then on the next line you have to indent it to keep it contained, the code contained within that for loop. Nice. Actually, I think I have it on hard difficulty, so they have armor and enchantment stuff. So, anyways, and now we have still 4 arrows. Not that great. Anyways, so what that for loop does is on the next line you could do. Let's just do. Well, no. Let's get into. Sorry, it's kind of hard to just like make examples off the top of your head. You really need to have a goal or something. So let's say we're constructing a new string variable with all capitalized letters from the variable word into the new string variable. We'll call it word underscore 2. Okay, so we still have our basic setup for char in word, then colon, then on the next line you indent, and you can start doing the actual code for the loop. So you could do word underscore 2 plus equals char dot upper open parenthesis close parenthesis, and that will add an uppercase version of each character from word 1 into word 2. So essentially you're building an all uppercase word. Oh. That's the danger you got to watch out for. Alright, so you're basically building an uppercase word or string variable from an original word variable, or string variable named word. Okay, and yeah, these examples, they might not seem, you might be wondering why you're doing something like that for an example, but trust me, it's definitely useful later on when you're actually doing things like trying to read a file, trying to save contents of a file, or specific contents of a file, to a new file, creating a new file, all sorts of the more advanced stuff that employers are actually going to want you to be able to do for a job. Okay, but these are just simple examples to kind of get the concepts down and to kind of learn them. So, yep. Now, a while loop is useful for times when you don't really know how long something is going to run. So the for loop is good because you have a string variable and you're doing every character in that string variable. So for as many characters exist in that word string variable, it's going to iterate through and do something for each one of those characters. Now a while loop, you can make it run until a condition is met. And you got to be careful because this is how you get into the famous infinite loops. And most assuredly, you will make an infinite loop at some point. It's okay. Definitely don't worry about it. But be prepared to end your program prematurely if you encounter an infinite loop. So the structure for a while loop is while some condition. So let's say we have a count variable. We'll just declare an int variable and name it count, and we'll set it to 10. So we'll just have this loop run 10 times. Maybe 11 depending on when your end condition is, so because you got to remember zeros, inclusivity, stuff like that. So you can do while count is greater than 0. Okay, so that's fine. So it will run 10 times. The first time through, the count variable will be 10, and then in your loop you need to decrement count, and this is how you avoid an infinite loop. So you need to have a line of code, which is indented still, so it's contained. Ah, that's not good. So it's contained within the loop. You need to indent it and say count minus equals 1. And so that will decrease the value of count by 1 each time the loop goes through. Alright, while we're talking, let's eat some food. Let's heal up. I'm going to upset these piglin and get more experience. Okay. And you can even see these little guys, they're really fast, so watch out for them. I mean, they are just like baby zombie piglins, but they're very fast, they deal about the same damage, and yeah. But if you'll notice, we're almost level 34, and they're not even upset. So this is a relatively safe farm. Alright, and we're going to keep working on this. So a while loop, that's a very basic while loop. It doesn't actually do anything the way that we've programmed it, but that is how you can do something without knowing really what the end is, even though you kind of know that it's going to run for as big as count is. So once count reaches 1, it'll run through one last time, and then it'll be changed to 0, and then the while loop conditional will notice, oh, it's no longer greater than 0, so the loop exits. Oh man, this might be bad. Okay, so yes, the Nether is a very dangerous place, and oh, I almost hit that zombie piglin, which would be really bad because we're not ready to run to our safe place. And yeah, but we do need the magma creams. We're going to be doing some potion brewing. Oh yeah, that's right, take out the skeleton, give us arrows? Yes, we got an arrow, nice. Okay, but yeah, we're getting a decent amount of experience. We can now definitely enchant 2 items, as you need to be level 30 for the best enchantments. Honestly, don't waste your time with any of the other enchantments, the lower level ones. It's just not worth it. Okay, so while loop. Yeah, basically, check out my website for a lot of examples, because I do know that you can't do greater than or less than signs, or angle brackets, or arrows in YouTube. They just sanitize that input. They don't let you put that in the description, so it doesn't look all that clean in the description anyway. Alright, rather than keep lowering the durability of these nice diamond tools that I have, let's see. What should we do? There's another skeleton that's shooting at us. Let's get the skeleton to shoot the magma cube. There, do our work for us. Okay. Oh, ow, that one we got through. Okay, we're almost done, but we did manage to make a zombie piglin experience farm. It's very basic. Possible additions to it, like what I have in my Java version on my computer. I have a chest, a crafting table, so I can store stuff that I get from the farm. Okay, you know what? You just gotta go. Okay. Alright, oh, and they're getting mad at the other skeleton. Nice. Okay, so anyways, possible additions to it. You can add a chest. You got to be careful, because if you open a chest around a regular piglin, it might get mad at you and start attacking. Also, we got to be careful of that gas. It's shooting projectiles at us. Can I get that experience? Okay, sometimes experience glitches out like that. That's fine. But for now... Oh, and the gas despawned. Now, I think... if we keep these sections to about this size, just where it's just too high, a ghast won't be able to spawn. So eventually we're going to be extending the farm out that way. Let's get this skeleton to shoot these zombie piglins. Ow, it shot me. Alright. And that's also how you acquire one of the rarest loot items in the game, which is a record or a disc. It's a vinyl disc. And you do that by tricking a skeleton into shooting a creeper and killing the creeper. Now, it's really hard to do, so I mean, it'll take some time, but that's how you do that. Alright, and while we're at it, let's go ahead and upset these guys up and run to safety. Oh no, that could be bad. Okay, well, they knocked us in here. Alright, and now be careful, because if you get too close to the wall, they can reach over and they can smack you. So, and they hurt. They definitely hurt. Alright, let's go ahead and mop up these guys, get their gold, get their experience. And the cool thing is as you kill more zombie piglin, or even just hit them, the other ones in the area should become angered and attack you. So, okay, and this one's gonna glitch out and not give me the experience, whatever. Alright, now, everything from the zombie piglins is going to be useful. The infected flesh that we have 13 now, and eventually that'll go way up, and you'll notice I'm starting to fill up with gold swords, and those can be smelted down into gold nuggets. Yep, and see that gas spawned where I still haven't filled in the netherrack. Yeah. Okay, and also eventually we're going to make several layers of platforms that these things can spawn. So, and I'll keep like one layer this right here, and then we'll go, you know, up 3 and have another platform. So like this will be a platform, and we'll clear out 2 spots above that, and basically make a multi-tiered spawning set of platforms for the zombie piglins. Alright, so that was a very basic intro to loops. Barely talked about them at all, but yeah, like I said, check out the description for the video, and then check out the website for a lot more detailed descriptions of loop logic, stuff like that, as well as practical examples of what loops can do. Also, I'm going to add... Oh, man. Oh, please don't attack me. Hate those zoglins. But anyways, and then I'm going to also add a section on just basically career success stuff. Things that you should know to be successful in a tech career. Because like I said, I just got done doing another personality test for Full Stack Academy. And that's going to hopefully help me land a security job in the near future. But I've done a couple of other personality tests, and they're useful for tech companies. Alright, that's all for now. We did cover a gold farm. Oh, which also I might say now, we can craft gold ingots from those nuggets. It's a very slow process. I would need 1 more gold nugget to make another ingot. You need 5 ingots to even make like golden helmet. And for rails, you need, well, I think it's quite a few gold ingots. So we're going to be working that farm for a little bit. But for now, you can see all the nice treasure that we got from it, and with very little time actually using the farm. Like I said, you might also want a crafting table, an auto smelter, which is basically an advanced furnace, a blast furnace, and a hopper and a chest, so you can start dropping all of these swords that we'll be getting into the auto smelter to make gold nuggets. And yeah, and you want to save up as much rotten flesh as you can, as we will be using those to trade with cleric villagers also in the near future, because that's a great source of experience and items. Alright, that's all for now. We'll see you in the next one.